What is going on, guys? Eric here from Bolts and Banter with another review video, and today we are looking at another OBD2 scanner, and it is the Innova 6100P. Now, I've already taken it out of the box, but I just wanted to do a quick little rundown of what you get in the box and a couple of highlights on the features of this scanner and whether or not this will be good for you. The box is pretty simple. It comes with nothing but the scanner itself, as well as this parallel to OBD2 cable. It's a serial plug that looks like a printer plug from the 90s. So you get this plug and you don't get anything else. You get a user manual inside, which will show you how to quickly start using this, and it also comes with full directions on the internet. Super simple, no frill scanner right out of the box. And let's go ahead and plug this into our test car. It is a 2018 Toyota 4Runner TRD off-road, and we're gonna do a couple of things. The first thing we're gonna do is check to see if there are any permanent DTCs. I think this tool is a very useful tool to see if there are any codes that a seller is potentially trying to hide if you're purchasing a vehicle, or if you just like to see any ongoing issues with the car even after the check engine light has been cleared. After that, we are going to go ahead and make a check engine light, or purposely set one off, by removing the mass airflow sensor plug. And then we're gonna clear it with this 6100P. And lastly, we're gonna go over the datastream capabilities of this scanner and show you guys what you can and can't read from this unit. Without further ado, let's go ahead and plug this in, get it powered up, and see what the start menu looks like. While I get this plugged in and you get a close-up of my face, I think that this is a very useful scanner for a DIY guy, or if you're looking to upgrade from something that isn't a pocket scanner and can do a little bit more, but you don't want to pay that much money for it. I've said my piece and I still can't find the DLC. One moment, we'll be right back. All right, so we have it plugged in, powering up. All right, let's skip these initial menus. Let's see if we can go ahead and turn off that beeping once we get the chance, by the way. When you immediately plug in the scanner, this is the first menu that you get, and it is telling us that there is a P0102, a permanent DTC code, and that is correct. We actually unplugged the MAF sensor on this car a couple of days ago to test out another scanner, and here it is. After clearing the code, we still have a permanent DTC, simply because we haven't warmed up the car enough and we haven't driven the car enough to clear that code by itself. So right off the bat, very nice capability here from the Innova 6100P. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I think if you have a scanner like this and you are trying to purchase a used vehicle, this will be very helpful for you to try and catch a shady seller who is potentially clearing codes without actually fixing anything. That way you get stuck with the problem that he or she didn't want to fix or never intended to fix to begin with. So that's a good sign right there. We're gonna start the car up, and then we're gonna see if there are any other codes. We're gonna go through the cycles and see what the readiness checks are like once we get the car going. All right, so we're at the system test menu, and we'll go ahead and start the car. And all right, so these are all the tests that you can go through. I'm actually gonna go back into the menu, like I said, and get rid of that beeping, so that way we don't have a video that's all just beeping. So it's not a touchscreen, it's just a small little colored screen here. Good enough for you to read all the data that you need to read. Nothing fancy here, and it does fit in the palm of your hand. So like I said, this is a good scanner upgrade if you have a pocket scanner. Tool settings, audible tone, perfect. That's much better. All right, so here we are at the main menu. We're just gonna start from the top and work our way down. So there are some system tests that you can enter into right here, and then the scanner will also give you information on those particular tests and what the car does in order to get there. If you go into, for example, the IM monitor test, it will show you what the readiness is like and what tests are complete and incomplete. And if there is an incomplete one, you can go into the menu and see why it's incomplete. So we'll go ahead and go to the O2 sensor one, and we'll go to the description, and it just gives you this little readout here that you can read about, and also the drive cycle test, and it'll show you what the parameters are to get it to that condition. All right, so that is the first menu that you can get. There's the vehicle information menu, which we've already confirmed that it is accurate, but let's do that again. So check the vehicle ID. and it'll give you the VIN as well as the year. And that's very helpful if you are trying to purchase a car and someone's doing some pretty shady stuff, like potentially changing a VIN number. It has a DLC locator function right here. This is just a matrix of all the years that you can go through. It's going to show you where your pin is. We've already found the DLC plug underneath the dash, but for reference sake, let's go ahead and see if we can find it here. It has information up to 2022. Power this outside of the DLC. It wouldn't really make sense if you needed to plug it into the DLC in order to find where the DLC is. I will say, because it's only got a couple of buttons here and it's not a touchscreen, it's a little bit cumbersome to go through all the menus like this, but once you get that beeping out, it's not really that big of a deal. It just takes a couple seconds. I would say that saving $100 and buying one of these more simple scanners is a lot better of a deal than paying for a fancy scanner only to get a touchscreen tablet that you probably won't use that much anyway. All right, so here we are, Toyota 4Runner. DLC in driver's side, under lower left side of dashboard. DLC is uncovered. Super helpful information if you're working with a bunch of makes and models. If you are a mechanic though, you probably don't need anybody to tell you where the DLC is, but that is helpful. There is a battery and alternator test as well. We're gonna go ahead and test that battery. This battery is a couple years old. It actually came with the car. So let's see what we have to do. Vehicle is not moving, transmission and park are neutral, parking brake is on, visually inspect the battery, if corroded, replace. All right, turn the engine off, turn the key to the on position and do not start the engine. Turn it off, on position, press enter to continue. And we are counting it down. And it says turn off headlights. Okay, we have them off. Start the engine one time within 30 seconds. Battery status warning. All right, we have to figure out what battery status warning means because it's not telling us anything else other than that. I'm gonna say that this warning means replace the battery soon. It doesn't really tell me what that means, but let's go ahead and see if it has any other information. It does not. I'm going to assume that the manual will give more information on that. It says warning. I'm going to trust that. The battery on this car is from 2018, so it probably does need to be replaced sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and do the alternator test. Engine needs to be running at normal temperature to begin this test. Start engine and turn on your headlights. Do not perform this test on a hybrid vehicle. Okay, increase engine speed to 2,000 RPM and hold it there until the countdown reaches 0. So here we go.
And is the countdown running? Yes, it is.
One moment, please. And it says alternator status good. Nice. That's a really nice test for a scanner in this price range. I think that if you were looking for a scanner that was able to do a battery and alternator test, something to consider rather than purchasing a separate alternator tester. If you do purchase a separate standalone battery tester, it will have more functionality than this, but if you're just looking to test your battery and alternator, this is a pretty good tool. Let's go ahead and see what it tells us about the service reset. Now, I know for a fact that this 4Runner cannot be reset in terms of service through the DLC, but it will show you, ideally, how to do it on the car itself. So there it is, all those directions. This is a physical push button where you have to reset it. Nice that they have this here, and let's see. It's pretty accurate. More or less, all of these scanners in this price range will tell you the same thing, but it is nice that the information is accurate and that it is at your fingertips. At the beginning of this video, we had that permanent DTC code for the MAF sensor. We're gonna go ahead and create a check engine light once again, and then make sure that we can clear it with this Innova 6100P. All right, as you guys can see, no check engine lights on the dash. We are going to go ahead and create one. So we'll be right back. We're gonna pop the hood, remove that sensor, and then let's see what the scanner tells us. All right, so the car skipped a beat a little bit. Now we have the traction control light on. We have the dreaded check engine light. All right, so let's start the car. There's our dreaded check engine light. and it has taken out a couple of systems on the way. Traction control. Right. Let's see what we can do. While this loads, I will comment that for a scanner in this price range, it's pretty fast. I'd say I wouldn't expect it to be any faster than it is. Let's skip that. We don't need that. All right. So right when you plug it in, it comes up with the code that has an issue. Intake air temperature circuit, high input, might pose damage to components and should be repaired as soon as possible. This is what it shows us also on the Toyota OEM Enhanced menu. That's without smart key. There we go, P0102. So we are going to plug in the sensor again, hopefully get rid of that check engine light with the Innova 6100P scanner. We'll be right back. Cool, so we got our sensor plugged back in. Start the car again. Still got that check engine light, so we are gonna go ahead and clear those codes just by pressing this red button over here. Erase and clears all DTCs, freeze frame data.
Have a safe drive today.
Let's select yes and watch that check engine light go away. We did clear the code, but just as expected, we still have a permanent DTC code, and as I mentioned earlier in this video, that code will not go away until we drive the car, get it warmed up and cooled down enough times for the system to clear it by itself. Scanners like this will not clear that code, and if you're looking to do that, you won't find a scanner like that. The only way to do it is to drive it. The last thing that we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at the live data function of the Innova 6100P. Now, just a little cheat, I have looked at this in a prior session off camera, and I have found that I cannot find the AT fluid temperature parameter here on the live data stream. Unfortunately, that means that if you are looking to purchase this to service your automatic transmission fluid by draining it out and then refilling it, you won't find the temperature here, and you'll need to jump your pins on your DLC or get another scanner. But this will be good enough to read other parameters. Speed, for example, you can read coolant from here. Throttle position sensor, we can go ahead and check that right now. All right, so I'm going to quickly just go through this, speed it up to show you guys what you can get in terms of live data for a 2018 4Runner TRD off-road. This scanner gives us 53 parameters. I think most of those you might never need, but everybody's different, so I'm just showing you guys what you can get if you buy this. All right, back to the main menu, and that's it. All right, guys, so that is gonna do it for today and this quick little video of the Innova 6100P scanner. Like I said in my initial reaction to this, if you have a pocket scanner and you are looking to upgrade and you don't really want to upgrade to one of the 4-inch scanners or the ones that look like little bricks, the ones with touchscreens, those cost anywhere from $150 to $180, and you wanted to buy a slightly cheaper scanner that could still read and erase codes as well as give you some live data and some useful information like a battery test and an alternator test, I think that this is something you should consider. It also resets ABS lights and SRS lights, so if that is something that is wrong with your vehicle, highly recommend that you consider this as well. It's very, very competitive for the price, and it's pretty obvious as to why. This is a newer scanner with newer data in it in an old case. So, you know, a lot of scanners now will offer USB-C and then will offer a newer style of OBD2 plug, maybe not even a removable one. So if those are the kind of ergonomic things that matter to you, that's fine. If you're just looking for a scanner to read and write and potentially keep in your car for any type of instance where you're going to need OBD2 data, I think that this is a nice scanner to have. Perfect for the DIY guy. Anyway, that does it for this video. If you're interested, I will put a link in the description below to the Innova 6100P. You can check it out. They also have a couple of other models that may be better suited to your needs. Again, I'm Eric from Bolts and Banter with another review video. If you guys like this video and wanted to see more OBD2 videos or more review videos catered to the DIY guy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.